got to be honest. I got to be completely honest. Marvel defeated Thanos. I have not yet really been keeping up with the movies. I saw the latest Spider-Man. What was the last one that was out with Scarlet Witch? Doctor Strange. I saw the multiverse. I saw that one, but I just haven't been keeping up with it. And then Thor: Love and Thunder comes out. I think is what it's called. And I'm just so exhausted trying to figure out what and where these movies are going now. And I love Marvel. But I'm trying to watch this, and then right when it starts, I don't know who this monster is. He just some monster-looking dude, and he's with his daughter, and he's in a desert, and his daughter is dying, and his daughter dies, and then he buries her, and he's at her side, and he prays to his God that she would live, and she didn't live. So he goes to whoever this God is, this guy, and he's in charge of everything, and says, "I prayed to you, I sacrificed everything to you, and my daughter died." And whoever this God is said, "Who said I'm supposed to do that? You serve and you bow down to me." And so the guy and then the guy grabs him and he starts to choke. The God tries to choke this guy who lost his daughter. And then there's this like big giant sword that just comes to his hand out of nowhere, and he stabs him and he says, "All the gods are going to die now because of you, and you sacrificed my daughter," and this and that. And then it flashes to Thor, who's kicking it with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're beating up some people in space or something like that. And Thor all of a sudden receives word that this god is somewhere attacking the new Asgard, where I forgot the chick's name, but she took over Asgard. She was in the Avenger movies. Anyway, so he goes there, and then it flashes to Jane Foster. Remember her from the first Thor, his girlfriend? She's dying of a terminally ill cancer, and all the medicine shows that she's not going to live. She sees the Book of Asgard, where Thor's original hammer that Hela broke up. Remember Hela, Thor's sister, who destroyed his hammer, which is why he has that new one now. Anyway, that's in the new Asgard, and she's been summoned, Jane Foster, to go to this hammer because now she's going to take over the mantle, and it's pieced together, and now it flashes to Jane Foster as Thor with his hammer, with this other chick that's in charge of the new Asgard. And they're fighting this guy who's trying to beat up all the gods. He's the villain in this. And Thor gets summoned, and Thor has that weird-looking hammer now. And now he's looking at Jane Foster, and he figures out it's her. And what are you doing? Why are you still Thor and not Jane Foster? And she said she was summoned, and the chick from the new Asgard is there. And then this guy kidnaps all the kids, and he kidnaps, what's the guy who used to watch over Asgard with the funny eyes? Idris Elba. He has a son. And his son is kidnapped with all these other kids by this guy that wants revenge on all the guys, and he takes them somewhere. But this guy that used to, the Idris Elba's guy who has a son, he's able to look and see like thousands and thousands of billions of. He could see. Remember, his eyes saw from Asgard all the way to Earth. So his son has the same powers, and he sees Thor, and he says, "Yeah, we're safe." So Thor is summoned there by this guy's eyes, and Thor's like, "Yeah, we're going to save you." So Thor and Sarah Connor, or whatever her name is, now I'm talking about the Terminator. So Thor and the woman Thor, his girlfriend, and the Asgard leader, they go and they try and get the other god Zeus to help them. Well, Zeus says, I'm not helping you, and neither are the other gods. And not only that, get out of my face. We're about to beat you down because you're trying to get us killed. So then they fight them and kill them, And then they go back, and then Sarah Connor is she's dying when she's not holding Thor's hammer, and Thor's hammer and the other hammer are jealous of each other. That's an ongoing plot where Thor wants his real hammer back, and why does Jane Foster get to keep it? Because that was my first love, and then his other hammer is getting it. And that's just a comedy plot in this thing, but I'm trying to just finish this movie because I started watching it. And we all know that they're going to rescue the kids, and the kids are going to come back, and everyone's going to live happily ever after. And so they do that, but then Jane Foster dies in the process of, she can't just continue on with being Thor and not dying because she does have terminal cancer. She puts the hammer down, and now she's going to die. And then this guy who was trying to kill all the gods, he realizes that, well, Thor's love interest, he loves her so much, she's dying, and he's reliving his daughter dying, so now he's good again. And so Jane Foster dies, and this guy dies, and all of a sudden you see Thor, you flash all the way forward, and now Thor has his bad guy's little daughter, and now she's a small mini Thor, and they're going out to fight villains, and Jane Foster goes into heaven, and they show her in heaven, and she's with the Idris Elba's guy, and that's the movie. And I'm trying to just, come on, Marvel. I don't know. I just don't know. The next day I watched She-Hulk, and I liked it for some reason or another. That's for another review. But I can't do it anymore. I think I'm going to watch Black Panther, and I'm going to call it a day. The next Black Panther coming out. I understand that Dr. Doom is supposed to be in it, that his Submariner is supposed to do. Namor, you can't go wrong with that, I don't think so. I think that'll be exciting, but I just can't do it anymore with Marvel. You guys just let me down. But anyway, let me know what you thought of Thor: Love and Thunder. But I didn't like it at all. It from 1 to 5, I give it a 2.